Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live tour, The Cabinet of Curiosities, presented by the Institute of Architecture at the Angevante for the festival. So for our website, you'll be able to go to the Angevante Festival, the main website, and then go to the tour menu and then see both the live tour as well as the link. So if you click here, you'll be able to see the world we're presenting to you guys. So at the beginning, I want to say this project that we're presenting to the Angevante Festival is is being like produced by um, our team at the Studio Lin with the support of the department as well as the ovals that help us to develop the world. So um, in the entrance menu, you will see that we are distributing the cabinet of curiosities into 5 different categories: the image, the video, the text, the model, and the diploma world. As you might know that for our institute, we are organized by 3 architectural studios: the Studio Cristina Diaz Moreno and Efron Garcia Granda, Studio Greg Lin, and the Studio Hani Rashid. And besides the studio, we also have different departments um, that is also part of the Architecture Institute, including the structure design, the applied foreign affairs, the theory, the history department, digital design, digital production, energy design, and all the work that were produced in these 3 different studios and the different departments are included in this cabinet. And then they are also being categorized in different media representation. So I think before we talk more about how the organization is, we should just go to one of the world to see uh, the stuff. So in the image world, what we are presenting are all the image media from the institute. And then you can feel free to browse in the world with your mouse. And then if there's anything you are interested about, you can just go and click on the image. And for example, this one is a student work produced in the Studio Greg Lin um, in the winter semester. This project is a market that is organized for the shared self-driving vehicles and the pedestrians in the harbor of Tallinn. And if you want to get more info of the studio, you can feel free to click on the link. That would bring you to the to our studio web page, or you can also get to know more about this project on its YouTube video channel. Let's take a look at another work, this one. So this one is a photo from the Foreign Affairs led by Barbel Mueller. And Foreign Affair is, I think this is from, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is from Damascus, or maybe Maya knows more about the Foreign Affair and then can give everybody a brief introduction about this.
The Foreign Affairs is actually operating across the globe, I would say, but with a focus on going to areas which are more precarious, and also where the most architectural mainstream would probably not go. So this project is in Africa, I think is in Ghana, and it's what's very admirable about the AFA is that that Berbel works with architectural students who are still in their studies, and they go to these places and really with the communities and with different, sometimes also with NGOs, develop projects which give great value to the local communities at a specific location. Yes, and I think, like it says, this is a market project. I think just completed a couple of months ago. And also the AFA and the IOA alumni really built these projects together with the local people.
Great. And then you can also see their press release or more information about the AFA on the link. So let's see what else. Let's look at this one. So this one is a project from Studio Hani Rashid called the Hypermobility, and this project is looking at the fact of the abundance of the cars and then in anticipation of the autonomous vehicle. So this one is to kind of speculate into in the recent future how the dramatic change of the mobility can affect architecture space and how architecture in terms of form, interior, and spatial quality is accommodating to the change of the speed, the change of the driving experience, etc. And then you can also get to know more about their studio information through the link where you able to go to their studio page to look at both their news and the recent student work and the team introduction. So the image world is kind of bringing all the images from different departments and different studios together, and then you can kind of browse in a more kind of random and visual way.
I think what also, Kaiho, I think one point in the image world is also nice, that you can change your point of perspective within the cloud with those buttons at the bottom, left to right. So they are kind of like, you can fly around within the cloud to have different perspectives to those images. As obviously from one perspective, you can not always encompass all the available images. So with the arrow buttons on the bottom, you can slightly change your position and select out of, let's say, a different cluster.
Yeah, like here I'm like kind of inside the cloud, so I get to kind of be more immersed into the images.
I think maybe also one thing to outline in the concept of the overall world, but also what's inherent here in the images, is that we went for, we didn't go for the usual classifications of departments or studios. Everything is collated in, let's say, a larger ensemble, as we did not want to emphasize individual bodies, people, teaching staff, studios, departments. We wanted to somehow emphasize, let's say, the unity of the overall department in the university at large and not individual studios. Yes, this is also just a recent project from our studio, again, from that situation of the market in Tallinn from last semester. Two students conceptually embraced the idea of a new fish market with integration of different kinds of mobility concepts, circulation concepts, all under a large, vast roofscape, if one could say it like that.
Okay, let's go to check out on the other worlds. Let's look at the model worlds. So in this world, once you enter, you will see there are like multiple 3D models collected from the school. You can browse the model with those two arrows in the bottom to walk around the platform. Or you can also click on the model to get the information. So for this one, for this model, it is from the Olympic Media House project that deals with the future of urban transformation and focus on the celebration of the Winter Olympics in the Italian cities of Milan and Cortina di Ampezzo. The model is going to turn in this kind of turntable movement. So you'll be able to see both the view in the back of the model as well as its three-dimensionality. Sometimes the model is only from part of the project. Like this one is a spherical model from Studio Greg Lynn, which is part of the overall market the students designed. So this part is, so the project is about search, browse, scroll, which is inspired by the way the customer is using the Amazon to purchase stuff. That the project is looking at how to transform this sort of interaction into physical or three-dimensional form to make the experience of digital as a physical space.
And in the left corner of your screen, you see two buttons, right? Which take you whether to the center, which is home, but also there is a reshuffle button, which loads some new models into the scene, but also, which you can see, right? Yeah. So, yeah. But also repositions the models in the whole overall setting. This was probably kind of the most challenging part in working with the virtual environments, and kind of also obviously in the WebGL format, meaning that it's running on the internet, is somehow to keep the world sizes at a certain scale. So obviously we tried to put in as much as we could, and the reshuffle option, which I think is also in some other worlds a possibility, kind of was the way to keep the size of the worlds under control, yet still having hopefully a good user experience.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the cabinet where we are proposing is like a 3D kind of a game-ish environment, and it was very challenging in terms of presenting things in 3D and also rendered in real time, and as well as the way to interact with them.
And obviously it was also a selection process of keeping work and sometimes putting work into different places. So not all the projects are represented in each of the categories. And as the name says, you have to be curious to explore. And that's our aim and take on interaction. So rather than giving a didactic curatorial experience through projects, the Cabinet of Curiosities has a bit of a, I would say, mysterious take on things that are there to explore for the visitors. Not in order to educate them, but in order to highlight glimpses and pieces and fragments of the last year's students' body work.
Yeah, and also this cabinet is not just for the festival. I think in the future we'll keep maintain the website as well as update the recent students' work. So this will really become like a platform of our institute to showcase recent projects in all different kinds of media.
Okay, maybe we explore a new medium, Kaiho. So every time one wants to do that, you need to go back to the initial starting point in the center.
Yeah.
Little travel through the galaxy. And then from the menu, one can just select the medium that they want to engage with.
So here is the text world that you see kind of the name of the text, and then the texts are kind of embedded inside the box. And if you click one of them, the box is going to unfold. And then you see a short text of either like a project or about the publication from the institute. So this one is about a new book from iHeart blog, Augmented Architectural Objects, that is looking to a new visual vocabulary of architecture. And then in here, it would also bring you to know more info about this publication. And then for this one, you will be able to see more. This one is from the hyper mobility from Andrea Bonner. Oh, sorry, this one is from the studio Hani Rashid, which is the studio description that you kind of saw in the, I think in both the model world and the image world about some sort of student project that worked on this topic. And then in the text world, you can kind of see a more comprehensive brief about the studio.
Yeah, I think this specific project has been developed with Andrea Berner, you know, from the theory department. So it kind of outlines. It responds obviously to the studio investigation, but it's also within the urban strategy and theory of landscape, where it kind of dives deeper into the thought about how mobility and urbanity come together. Sorry, you would need to read the text for a more detailed thoughts of the student. Yeah.
In this one, the positions, this is also a new book edited by our colleagues, Maya Benza, Indre, as well as the Institute of Architecture. Maybe you can kind of introduce to us a little bit about this book.
Yes, this is a publication we did together as a kind of follow-up on a lecture series which we organized for the Sliva lecture series, which is hosted by the Institute of Architecture. And I think 2 years ago, we did a series with alumni to kind of map where our graduates are going, how they're developing, and what are the territories that they occupy with their work. And the lecture series ran over the whole year. And we were just so impressed by all the different positions which we were able to present. And also obviously in that format, we could not, there was a limited amount of people that we could obviously include. So we thought that the book is a great option to expand actually the platform for voices that were strong and had their position within the architectural discourse on many levels. So we went on and created this publication, which came out this year, I think in February, is by now available in all of the major bookshops, and it's really a nice or collection of older, younger alumni and showcasing kind of their projects, their agendas within the architecture.
And also in here, you can see this is the studio syllabus of Studio Greg Lin, the new market, that you can get to know more about the kind of the background and the context of some of the projects you saw in the other world.
Yeah, I think as Benson mentioned before, the curiosity and the exploration aspect of the cabinet, you'll see that once you start browsing through the world, you see bits and pieces of projects. But I think if you spend a little bit more time there, these bits and pieces start to fall together and connect. And so kind of going deeper and deeper and deeper, step by step, in a certain way, it leads you through the the projects that are developed in the institute on many levels.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting way to encounter with those projects. It's like picking up different puzzle pieces from different worlds, and then it's kind of slowly put them together. So you get to know like a bigger picture.
Right. This is also why it's probably quite, I know it's a little bit time to spend, but I think that the nice thing about the text world is that you will encounter, also essays, which then take part whether of the kind of studio idea and projects and develop them within a written word into a deeper thought, or individual essays which are maybe only slightly relating to the actual studio project world, but are dealing obviously still with very architectural topics and develop them in a written thought process into a deeper understanding or provocative thought on certain topics. So very recommendable to take a little bit of time and maybe just read through some of those things.
Okay, we can also go to the diploma world. So in the diploma world, we are presenting the projects from the diploma students in all kinds of media, like both for the 3D model as well as for the images. So, so this one, it looks like a pile of potato chips. Is from Chen Huahuang's recent diploma project that is looking at, it's named as Reform Standard, that is looking into an alternative design workflow for architectural design industry, to think about how those non-standard pieces or the raw material or recycled material can be automatically um, recognized and archived by the digital process, and then use a series of processing analysis, for example, structure, force analysis, as you can see in here from the image. The project is trying to develop this sort of autonomous process um, for the non-standard material. So at the end, the project is trying to target towards the notion of waste and waste island in the future world, that could be redefined as a new natural land to be explored, designed, occupied by the inhabitants and economic entities. So this is a diagram in Chen's diploma that you can see how these chips or this shell structure is being analyzed by the machine, um, and then how the parameters are being analyzed by symmetry, proliferation, thermal area, and height. So in the diploma world, you can see more images of the project as well as the 3D model and the video. So if you keep walking in the diploma world, this is another diploma project. From Studio Hani Rashid. It's called the Flora Futura, and which is looking at the relationship between human and nature in the age of the mixed reality and automation. To think about what's the kind of how people are interacting with this sort of artificial nature in the recent future. And then you can see both the interior and the exterior rendering of the project. So the diploma world is providing you with a more kind of comprehensive introduction of the diploma projects from the Angewandte. So this one is from Do Machines Dream from Studio Hani Rashid, looking at artificial intelligence and how the forms can be automatically produced, learned, and reconfigured. Now you see both the physical model as well as the interior render of the project. So In the About, you get to see more information about the Cabinet of Curiosities. And then you can also click on the links to the festival main page, our Institute of Architecture website, as well as OBO's website that help us to develop the website. And are we taking any questions?
Maybe just one comment. I think that there is, as you can see, one black world in the back, which we kind of left out now because it seems like we have a bug, but we are about to fix it.
It is working. It is working on my laptop. I received the feedback right now that it's a browser issue. It should be fixed soon, but if we would switch quickly screens, Kaiho,
Yes,
I could.
Yes.
Just very quickly take everybody to the video world. So in the video world, as a different format or medium that students explain their work on or with, are different video formats. And we see here again a random array of video production that students in different departments, studios, diplomas, and projects have produced. This video, which should be playing right here now, and you see that the video is quite heavy and my computer is not very powerful and lagging. But this was a video that was done in Armin Hesse's department, which engages with CGI production. In the next video, I can depict Hani Rashid, so I strongly assume this is a video. I actually think it's that Flora Futura diploma video of Silvia Nanu. And then you can basically just go from image to image and just get glimpses and videos of what's happening at the IO. This shows Maya, who's curated a Sliver lecture series, which happened this semester mainly also on the digital format over Zoom. Again, here a random back to the visualization department. So again, here you will not be able to depict the knowledge of an individual project explained from start to end. It's more glimpses and fragments of studios, departments, of the overall institute. Down on the right here, we can see, I saw a video of our recent graduate, Anastasia. This again is a video from the model that Kaiho explained in the model world, the browse scroll studio group. And in total, I think we have 7 or 8 surfaces with a number of videos to be looked at. Also, obviously, if you click on the video, you can get links and further information related to the content. And you fly through the center back to home. So I think we've covered now all of the mediums and with some samples of content. This is pretty much what we have envisioned in this little side project, Cabinet of Curiosities. The idea is also that more work will come in the future to be showcased here in this interactive environment. And I would just say, maybe we open up for a few questions before we close this tour. So if anybody of the few participants we have would have questions, we would be very happy to answer those. And if there are no questions, we would just say thank you to all the collaborators and supporters, and thank you for listening in on this little tour through the Cabinet of Curiosities. Are there any questions from anybody?
Hi, it's Leslie here. I just wondered whether it might be possible just in one or 2 minutes to go back to the image section. Yes. I just thought it was, I think it's all fantastic, but it'd just be lovely to have another second look at that one if you've got time for that.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you see, all the images are always going to be facing you, the visitor. I mean, obviously with your mouse, you can browse a little bit around and rotate, and new images in the world will build up. And then you have to be a little bit selective what catches your attention, or maybe something that you know, to get further links or information on those images. I know, for example, this project in orange and yellow, I click on it, and we've just reviewed this project a few days ago, again, within Studio Lin by Zach and Kyle, which is a large-scale proposal for a culinary market experience branching over the platforms of the main train station in Vienna. I obviously know a little bit our projects more than from the other studios, but again, here it's a world to explore and to browse through. I'm taking now a new perspective, new images from a different perspective starts to reveal and build up. And whatever catches my attention, I can then further engage with it. Kaiho, I think, explained this project. This was a Studio Rashid diploma, Do Machines Dream, artificial intelligence, a hot topic currently in investigations in architecture. So all in all, we know this. It's more like a cloud of images to be explored. And then maybe if I want to change again my position, I look at, again, a new random selection of studio work. And then if you press the home button, you return to center, again, ready to make a selection. Any more questions or requests to review something or visit something? Well, if no, then I think we'll just say thank you for being part on this little tour with us. And maybe we give back to Stefan.